Hey, what's going on, guys? Quick and Breezy here, back with another World of Tanks video. And today I got another So Close, Yes So Far video for you guys while I work on another mastery video. Unfortunately, I am still having the network connection issues, so I am having to cut and edit and piece together like a Frankenstein monster this entire video, as for some reason I just still get kicked out of the game and disconnected. It's wonderful. So we are going to start things off here with the Chieftain Mark 6, probably my favorite of the British heavy tanks. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so here we are on Malanai. I don't even. I've never actually understood how to properly pronounce this, but this tank is quite good in, oh, and as you can see I was lagging in the beginning. It was actually quite bad. Yeah, once again I've been having some very bad network connection issues. And it was lagging, not as bad as this video replay is showing, but it was pretty bad. Let's hope this ends here. Let's skip ahead. There we go. Wow. I do remember it was lagging pretty bad, but not that bad. But we do just push right up here next to B, and we just start pumping out the damage. I mean, we put on the adrenaline, and we just sit right here. Our team's over there brawling. We're already up a tank, and we just barely get that shell off, but we unfortunately do not pen it. And I am spotted now. But this tank does have great high explosive pen. It travels at the speed of a frog, as you can tell. It's like almost a bit of an arc, like a cannonball. It just kind of dips right in wherever you're aiming it, or at least around where you're aiming it. But we have taken a large chunk off of the M5 Yo. He backs up, so I just decide, alright, I'll shoot the E5. And the T95 is there now. And as you can see, I'm trying to get the shell off. I don't. I'm just sitting here. We're already up 3-0, and I just continue to pump shells right into the side of their tanks. The M5 Yo is done, and T95 is up next. And he keeps backing up, and boom, finish him off. We're at 3,300 damage, and we have 3 out of the 5 kills. So I just decide, enough sitting around, so I push in. We have done absolute work in the middle there. The E100 and Waffle, or I'm sorry, the Grill, as we will find right there, have just been sitting together. I get a nice HE shell into his cheek, but now I'm spotted. I decide, you know what, I've got the health, let's just push up. So I put another shell right into his cheek. He is running the reactive armor, so it's not doing as much damage. The T62 is tracked, so we are able to get a nice shell into him there. We're at 4,200 damage, and here I decide, alright, let's just make sure we pen. So we take him out, 5 kills. We end up doing 4,000. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Obviously, as you could tell, we had a little bit of an issue there, as I was booted at the very end, right as I was about to get into the after action report. But we ended up doing 4,500 damage, just about. We destroyed 4 and damaged 5. We pull out the Top Gun and the Sniper Tanker, which in a heavy tank is not something you get too often. And then we do end up pulling out the Mastery Badge Class 1, so not quite the Golden M, but pretty good game. We were obviously just able to sit there and pump out the damage completely uncontested. And when you can do that, it's pretty much guaranteed to be a high damage game, as you can see there. But without postponing much longer, let's get right into the second one. Okay, we are back for the second video here. We are on Falls Creek in our E100 Yultun, and I remember this game. I've been saving this replay for a little bit now, and it starts off very bad. I actually got a little discouraged. If I remember, this battle's actually from about a week ago, I think, maybe a little bit more now. I've got a lot of footage that I've been going through and making videos with it, But if I recall, this game here, I mess up like my first shot or two, but it does even out towards the end. So we have the Type 71 here, and I just load premium, and yeah, I was like, right there, I was like, are you kidding me? He turns quite literally the second I go to shoot, and it screws up my heat shell onto his upper plate. But we're reloaded right here. We do have the E100 Yo2, and I aim for the lower plate, and boom, there we go, a low roll. A low roll of just depression. I was like, great. I could have had a lot more damage, but the Type 71 does go down. The E100 is backing up. I just load in the premium shell and decide, you know what, let's get a little fancy. And that shell was pretty good though. 569, not too sure I deserved that shell, but hey, I'm not going to complain, so I back up. Our team's looking pretty decent all around. We are almost reloaded here, and there's the E5, and boom! Ammo rack, 1700, and just take him out of the game. We're at 2700 damage, so we're starting to get that damage racking up just a little bit more. We're already up 3-0, and we have the Grill 15 Troublemaker kind of just sitting back here, doing exactly as his name implies, making trouble. So we're pushing, and yeah. RNG begins to fail us again. Actually, that's not so much RNG, that's just he just slammed on those brakes. But as you can see, our mediums have lost their side, so we all just turn around. Of course, the E50 says, look at the map, FFS, as if we weren't over there clearing our stuff. So we do just push in here. The standard B is, I guess, doing whatever he's doing. I don't know why he would push out like that and give himself away, but I mean, at the end of the day, he's a tier 9. Their chances of winning probably aren't all that good. So I just roll around this corner, and boom, HE shell right to the side, and I don't even stop. I just keep on going. And just a force of destruction. We're at 3,400 damage, so not the best game, but then the 704 is just chilling out right there. I send a nice shell right to his butt. I tried to send it into his engine deck, or maybe start a fire, whichever. I look behind me because I do want the kill. The IS is there, so I do decide I'm just going to block a little bit and put on the high explosive and finish him off. 4,086 damage, and we hopefully will not disconnect here right as the after action report is loading. We do get 3 kills, 4,100 damage. We might have got the mastery if it ended up being a Top Gun game, but overall blocked 1,800 and damage 5. The team was pretty good. Our Type 71 RIP, as I did see 9.7s bringing pretty heavy nerfs to the Type 71, but our Type 71 did work, and overall, pretty good game, but not quite what we're looking for. But without further ado, let's go into the next one. Welcome back, guys. And for the next game here, we are in the Rampanzo, and I remember this game. This game was also the same day as the E100. For some reason I was spinning around. I think I was just admiring the look of the tank. But, ooh, we had a little bit of lag apparently. Let me just skip ahead. There we go. So, we push over here, and let me tell you, this game had some crazy shots, or a crazy shot. Probably one of my best shots I've ever taken before in a tank. But we do push up here mid side. Technically it could be a 2v2 if their mediums had pushed over here, but right there we see the Centurion is on the left side, so the T-49 and I immediately move up right into an IS-8. So it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, why? Oh, and right there I was like, oh great, that's just amazing. They're sniping all the way on the other side, which is not to be unexpected. Obviously, they will always be sniping all the way on the left. And now that I'm actually seeing this IS-8 roll up super speed on me, I remember how this goes. So I pump adrenaline, and so I'm just trying to get out as many shots onto the IS-8 as I can. I'm looking around, the T-49 does get taken out. I bounce, pretty unfortunate right there. And I am obviously on the run. They are taking shells, but they're not dying. At this point, I figure I'm just dead. Like, there is no way I survive this. I do get one more shell into the Object 274A, and now I'm really just like, alright, well, this is it. But I do block two. I block two shells suddenly, and I'm very confused. So I'm backing up, I back right up into the rock, and now I'm like, okay, great job, idiot. You just caused it, or you just caused the game to be over. But he bounces again. And so, and then the IS-8 takes out the Object 274A. So now I'm like, which way did he go? He's got to be somewhere. And you'll see here in just a moment, he ends up being like right along this hill over here. So I do go down, I pop one shell into him, and that IS-8, I'm not going to poke out. I'm going to let the IS-8 finish him, or I'm not going to like poke out unless I know I can for sure get a shell off. But here it is. Here's the shot. I don't even know, you know, I just shoot, and he happens to be there. Complete blind shell. I hit him right through the turret, clear him, and we are up 5-2. So with that, I just kind of sit on C a little bit. I make sure that I cap it, even though I highly doubt we're going to lose. I just don't want to tempt the WT. I do notice he is looking away, so I poke out, get a little bit of an AG shell into his paper thin turret. I see the T-30 way back there, don't really have a clear shell, so I push out just a little bit more, and I do send a shell in, but it does bounce, unluckily enough. I see the WT is not poking out, so I get one more shell into the side of the T-30. Here it comes the WT, so I just kind of sit there for a second, and I was going to get the shell off, but I decided not to, and now I poke out, I shoot. He had moved, though. I was just trying to snap shell him. The T-30's back there, I put on adrenaline, send in one shell into him, and then the WT does clear our IS-8. So now I just rush in, I'm rushing in, and I'm just like, oh, please don't be reloaded. I just come around the corner and just shoot as soon as I have the shot. Just finish him off, and just ram into the train car, because why not? But we do pull out the victory, of course. Pretty strong game, pretty good game in terms of how much damage for a tier 8, almost 3,000. We do obviously get the Mastery Badge Class 1, and then we end up getting the Lavasleo's medal as well. So that was pretty cool. Blocked 1,500, damage 5, destroyed 2. And then the teams ended up doing top damage on both teams, but pretty good overall. I've really been enjoying the Rampanzer, but I got one more for you guys, and I think you'll enjoy it. So let's take a look. Welcome back, guys. Here we are on Halas and the Tiger P Sandstorm. So as soon as the camo was released, I immediately jumped into realistic battles, and I made sure to pick this camo up. And look at this tank. This tank just looks awesome. I mean, maybe I'm a little biased, maybe I like it just because I've always loved the German realistic looking camos, but I mean, come on. So we are under tier, and typically that's not really a problem. I don't prefer to be bottom tier, but I don't really mind it either, as it's easier to get a mastery badge. And so I just kind of poke right here, and this was bad. Like, that was like, oh my god, of course. And so I go to poke back out, and then all of a sudden there's a gravedigger. So I do back up. As you can see, I'm running the tungsten rounds, and then our smasher just drops down onto the back of the shark, or I guess the T-54E2. He does not have a shark camo. But so now I load up the tungsten rounds, and the T-54 is just removed from the game so quick I can't even do anything. The Skoda T-45, he's over there being a menace, so I decide just to put a shell into the gravedigger as I'm on my way over to him. Just said over twice. Anyways, we're already at 1,000 damage. Nothing too crazy so far, but I do poke right over this hill and I try to get the shell in, but I can't. The Gravedigger, he's over there doing whatever he's doing, and I use a little bit of fake gun depression there. For those of you who don't know, you can actually have more gun depression than you're supposed to with a fake gun depression bug, and I do it again a little bit right there, not as much right there, but just a little bit. But so with that, we have cleared 2. We are at 1,109 damage. I decide that I'm just going to push with the Super Hellcat and the STA-1. I'm gonna see if we can clear this Prevail guy, and as I'm rolling up, I see that he's basically gonna die, so I just finish him off anyways. We are at 3 kills, and now the Chimera's right there. I do get a nice shell into him, or STA bounces, but the Chimera does shoot. So I push up for the Bulldog, and I do get a nice shell into the Bulldog. However, our defender's on a reload and can't clear him, so I decide I will clear him. We are at 4 kills now. I take a shell right there from the Chimera, but I do keep pushing up, and I wait. I wait a little bit just so I can clear him. We do have 5 kills now, 1,900 damage. And then there's the Romborzig, and as I'm falling, I get another kill. So we do end up getting 6 kills, only 2,000 damage. Like I said, this was a bit of a fun one. This wasn't like I did 4,000 damage and didn't get a mastery. I just, you know, kind of a fun game. 2,000 damage, 6 kills. We of course, let me go back, we of course get a Top Gun, but we do pull out the Pools medal for destroying 6 out of 7. And we get the Scout medal as well. And of course we get the Mastery Badge Class 1. So I would imagine that had I got the 7th kill, it probably would have been a mastery, but I mean, hey, this tank just looks freaking amazing. I absolutely love it. I ended up not even doing top damage, not really too surprising, because all I did is really steal kills, if I'm honest. But hey, you know what, sometimes it's good to get the kills too. Our WZ-120 did end up getting a 1st class and no kills, so had he gotten probably a couple of mine, he would have had himself a mastery, but hats off to him. Anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.